Hey Jags, it's Mrs. Pena. I'm going to explain to you all of the assignments for this week. I say all of, but really there's only two, and show you what is expected of you for this first week of our distance learning adventure. So what you'll notice is on classroom materials on Google Classroom, we've posted an agenda. So this first assignment will be over the poem To My Dear and Loving Husband. The assignments for this poem are divided into three parts: before reading, during reading, and after reading. Throughout this poem, you will be answering the question, what is love and how does it change us? And before reading instructions, it says brainstorm and or quick write your initial ideas about our central question. What is love and how does it change us? Create a journal entry to record your ideas in the Google Slides presentation in Google Classroom. See slide 2. Over the next few weeks, you will read a variety of thematically connected text and synthesize the information to develop and support an answer to the essential question. So if we go over to our Google Slides, this is posted for you in Google Classroom under assignments. What you need to do is make a copy of this so that way you can record your personal answers on each slide that you are assigned to. So the first thing I need you to do after you make a copy, you can do that in File, make a copy, the entire presentation, okay? So you'll type in your name and your class period, and you'll note that this is for the assignments for this week, and it is due the following Monday, and the two poems that you'll be reading are To My Dear and Loving Husband and Love Song with Two Goldfish. Then what I want you to do is answer the before reading question on slide number 2, which is what is love and how does it change us? Okay, so if we go back to our agenda, during reading, it says Anne Bradstreet was the most famous um, of early English poets in her time, and the first published female writer in the British North American colonies. Addressed to Bradstreet's husband, the poem depicts the intimacy of a couple deeply in love. As you read, take notes on the structure and themes of the piece. How does the narrator describe their relationship? What you want to do then is open the link to the poem and read once through on your own. So you will read this poem. This is what will pop up whenever you click the link. You will read the poem on your own. Then you'll click on the YouTube link on slide number 3 for notes. So I've also created a video for you. If you just click on the video, it'll automatically start playing, and it will have the notes and annotations that you are more than welcome to use on your or to make on your own as well. Slide 4 is available to you just to make any notes or thoughts that you have over this poem. Going back to the agenda, it says after you finish reading, track your thinking of the essential question on slide 5. So slide 5. So there's slide 4, slide 5. These two questions are going to show up throughout this unit. So the first one reads, what are some significant details about love, as seen in this poem? And in the context of the text, what is love and how does it change us? So basically, according to this poem, what is love and how does it change us? Next, you will use your annotated text and the text-dependent questions on slide 6. So you will click the link, which is to a Google Doc, of the text-dependent questions. Here are the text-dependent questions that you need to read and answer on slide number 6. So let me read these questions to you, and then I will show you where you will answer them on your Google Slides. Number 1 reads, consider the structural similarities of the first 3 lines. How do these similarities contribute to the piece? A, the repetition of if ever, then emphasizes the narrator's stern tone as the narrator tries to get her argument across. B, the repetition of if ever, then creates a humorous and light tone as the narrator flirts with an unknown acquaintance. C, the repetition of if ever, then creates a serious and solemn tone as the narrator confesses to her emotional confusion. Or D, the repetition of if ever, then emphasizes the narrator's message of love as a commitment, similar to the repetition of what found in wedding vows. Question number 2, part A. What does the term recompense most likely mean as used in line 8? So we'll be using our context clues. A, to substitute for, B, to satisfy, C, to make up for, or D, to swap for. Question number 3, part B. Which line from the poem best supports the answer to part A? A, I prize thy love more than whole mines of gold. B, my love is such that rivers cannot quench. C, thy love is such I can no way repay. Or D, then while we live in love, let's so persevere, which is also another way of spell is persevere, but they were doing it for rhyme's sake. Question number 4. Which of the following statements best summarizes the imagery used in the poem? Remember, imagery is whenever words paint a picture in the reader's mind. So, A, the poet compares her love to grand parts of nature, such as rivers and gold mines. B, the poet compares her love to being of more worth than all of the material wealth found in parts of the world, such as the East and in gold mines. C, the poet describes her love as transcending death and bringing their souls together as one. Or D, the poet uses a combination of material or of natural, material, and spiritual imagery when describing her love, making her feelings seem larger than all three. Question number 5. Which of the following best describes the poet's purpose? A, to profess the depths of her love to her husband and the unity she feels with him. B, to explain how lost she would be without him in her life. C, to extol the virtues and joys of love within this institution of marriage. Or D, to describe and praise her husband's many attractive qualities and virtues. Okay, question number 6 is an open-ended response. You must answer this question in complete sentences. How does the rhyme scheme of the poem contribute to the tone? Okay, so if you notice that on your agenda, it says that you are going to answer these questions on slide 5, but do not answer the discussion questions at the end. So going back to I'm sorry, on slide 6. So here's slide 6. The multiple choice questions will be answered on the left, numbers 1 through 5, and you're going to answer question number 6 in complete sentences right here to the right. Okay, so at the end of this agenda, here are a couple of videos that are completely optional. They're just simply fun and interesting information for you to learn about Bradstreet and To My Dear and Loving Husband. Let's continue and look at assignment number 2. Okay, so this assignment is going to be over the poem Love Song with Two Goldfish. So once again, let me zoom in. Before reading, once again, we're going to answer the essential question, what is love and how does it change us? Before reading, we're going to brainstorm and or quick write our initial ideas about how our expectations can affect relationships. You'll create a journal entry to record your ideas in the Google Slides presentation and Google Classroom. See slide 7. Over the next few weeks, you will read a variety of thematically connected ideas and synthesize the information to develop and support an answer to the essential question. So now we're on slide number 7. So slide number 7, how can our expectations affect relationships? Please answer that question right here to the right. Okay. Then what I want you to do, it says, during reading, Grace Chua is an award-winning journalist whose work usually deals with science and the environment. In this poem, Chua explores the love between two goldfish living in a fishbowl. As you read, take note of the use of puns throughout the poem and their multiple meanings. Record your list of puns used in the poem on the slide 8. So you'll click to read the poem, and this is what it'll look like. Okay? So I do want you to read this poem on your own. Once again, make a list, and you will make your list of puns right here on slide number 8. We've even provided an example for you, okay? Moving right along. After you read, you will track your thinking of the essential question on slide number 9. Okay, so there's slide 8. Slide 9, these are those two questions once again. What are some significant details about love, and in the context of the text, what is love and how does it change us? Remember, these two questions need to be answered according to your reading of Love Song with Two Goldfish. Then what you need to do is using your annotated text to complete the text-dependent questions on slide number 10. So we're going to make a copy. All right, so I'm going to zoom in so that way I can read these questions to you. There it goes. So question number 1, part A. Which statement identifies the central theme of the text? A, love can only be maintained with communication. B, love is difficult to sustain and often fades. C, love is often ruined by distance. Or D, love is ruined by wild promises that cannot be fulfilled. Question number 2, part B. Which detail from the text best supports the answer to part A? A, he's a drifter, always floating around her, has nowhere else to go, which is lines 1 through 3. B, he's bowled over, he would take her to the ocean. They could count the waves, lines 12 through 14. C, but her love's since gone belly up, her heart sinks like a fish, lines 18 through 20. Or D, and he could not give a life beyond the bowl, lines 25 through 28. Question number 3, part A. Question number 3, how does the structure of the poem contribute to its meaning? A, the first 3 stanzas show the male fish falling for the female fish, and the last 2 stanzas reveal his unanswered feelings. B, the first 3 stanzas depict the growing love between the 2 fish, while the last 2 stanzas show why their love falls apart. C, the first 2 stanzas show the male fish falling for the female fish, and the last 3 stanzas show why his feelings for her change. Or D, the first 2 stanzas explore why the female fish loves the male fish, and the last 3 stanzas show why she moves on. Question number 4, which 2 quotes, so you'll be selecting 2 answers for this one, which 2 quotes from the text best support the answer to part A? A, he's a drifter, always floating around her, has nowhere else to go, lines 1 through 3. B, he wishes she would sing, not much, just the scales, lines 3 through 4. C, darts behind pebbles, swallows his charms, hook, line, and sinker, lines 9 through 11. D, dive for pearls like stars, lines 16 through 17. E, his heart sinks like a fish, he drinks like a stone, lines 19 through 21. Or F, he could not give a life beyond the bowl, lines 25 through 28. Okay, and question number 5, it is open-ended response. How does the poet's use of puns or words with multiple interpretations contribute to the poem's meaning? As seen on the agenda, you're going to make sure that you do not answer questions, the discussion questions at the end, but you need to answer questions 1 through 5 on slide number 10, which is right here. So remember, oh, and there was one more open-ended response. Let me go back there just so I can make sure I show it to you. Sorry, y'all. So how does the poet's use of parentheses, this is important, develop the poem's themes? Okay, so back to Google Slides 1 through 4. Remember that number 4 is going to have 2 multiple choice selections. Question number 5 you'll answer right here. Question number 6 right here. And make sure that you answer those 2 questions in complete sentences. And once again, we have additional, like an online video that you can watch if you would like more learning on Love Song with 2 Goldfish. Okay, so this is the assignment that you will be sharing and submitting on Google Classroom, and this is what I will be grading, okay? If you have any questions, Jags, just remember to shoot me an email. My email is bpena1@neisd.net. Also, I will be available to answer your questions via text using Remind between 8 and 4:30, okay? I hope y'all are doing well. Stay safe and take care. See you later, Jags.